America is only as great as its faith. Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Sabbath School Study Group. This is part number 4 of our 5-part series, The Impending Conflict. And we're looking at Revelation 13 and now turning our attention to the second beast in Revelation chapter 13. But before we go there, I want to thank you again for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button to help others find this video. And share this video with someone else to encourage their faith. And finally, visit us online at changeministry.org. So much more for you to see and to learn. So in Revelation 13, we've already identified who and what the dragon is. That's Satan. But then we find the first beast described as this religious but also political power that reigns for 1,260 years, changes God's commandments, replaces God himself, and creates a whole nother system of worship. And we've determined that that is prophetically and literally the Roman Catholic system. Now, knowing this is the first beast, who's the second? The second would have characteristics that are different enough to make it a second, but it would also share enough characteristics to where it could be in workings with the first beast. In Revelation 13, verse 11, John sees, I beheld another beast come up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So now we see this dichotomy to where the beast has the appearance, this gentle, this kind appearance, but the heart or the personality is dragon-like. It's dragon-driven. It speaks like a dragon, but looks like a lamb. But notice how it's a lamb with 2 horns. This has 2 horns that oppose one or the other. So there's this separation. It's not this springing or spiky horns that we see there in other beasts referred to. So this power has the idea of separating power. Another thing that's interesting is that the beast rises up out of the earth when the other one comes out of the sea. This is a power then that comes from a land or region that is very sparsely populated, not a lot of people, whereas opposed to the other beasts, they came from the sea where there are a whole bunch or a sea of people. So now that we've got some clues, let's keep reading, because we get to verse number 12. It says about this lamb-like dragon speaking beast, he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. So now some comparisons are being made. Just like the Roman Catholic Church had near universal authority during its 1,260 years or 42 months of papal supremacy, this power now has near universal military power. And we know that it's a military political power because notice what it says. It says that this beast has power to make fire come down from heaven, unlike other nations, or even surpassing the scale of what other nations may be able to do. So the subtle hints are not so subtle anymore. What entity, what country has the power to make fire come down from heaven? And we all know the atomic power, the atomic weaponry of the United States of America. Now, don't forget the 2 horns. What better ideal is there than the separation of church and state? It's the principle that this country was founded on. But unfortunately, it's not the principle that the country will continue to stand on, because eventually it will speak like a dragon and tell everyone to worship the first beast. So looking at all these pieces together, Revelation 13 is prophesying that there will come a time when the United States will tell everyone in the world to worship the same system, to acknowledge the supremacy of the Pope and Roman Catholicism. But the power does not stop there, because in Revelation 13, beginning in verse 14, it says, this second beast deceives them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he'd had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, what had the wound by a sword and did live. So now this call will be ratified by a push to enforce the worship to the first beast. Now remember, it deceives the world into seeing the validity of making this transition. What nation on earth has the military, the scientific, or the political capacity to bring this to pass. There is no other nation, but the only empire that exists to this day is the United States of America. This is the country of my birth. It's the country of my citizenship, and it is a country that I love. This is why I pray that America will find its true religion and its true faith in Christ and Christ alone, remembering the power and virtue of separating church and state, not forcing them to be together, letting the church compete in the marketplace of ideas freely. It's what God himself wants us to do, and he does not mandate or force us to worship him. He gives us the power to choose. These principles are what Revelation 13 is calling us to remember, and by faith, to continue to raise up, to continue to push for, and to pray for, and believe in. Because in the time when God says, I have all who have chosen me, and he allows this mindset to come to pass in the form of forced worship, it's because he knows those who are his will not be shaken from his hand. Those who have been sealed by him cannot be taken from him. This is the joy that we have, even in the midst of the crisis, because the crisis will only serve to reveal those of us who have truly put our faith in Jesus and his cross.